Welcome back, friends. In previous lectures, we have gone through the coordinate geometry concepts, and we have seen those orthogonal coordinate system which we are going to use more often. That's Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system. We have also gone through the basic things like surfaces, line, volume in those coordinate systems, as well as how to locate a point. Means once these things are clear to you, now we will proceed for a discussion, because the till date what we have studied, these things are prerequisites for this particular course, and actual course contents are we are starting from here onwards. Now the name of the subject is electromagnetics, and unit 1, the name of unit 1 is electrostatics 1. So in this unit what we are going to learn, these are sources of electromagnetic field, vector calculus in some other perspective. Then we are going to see Coulomb's law, Gauss law, and electric potential. So those things we are going to see in this particular unit. So initially, before starting, with a famous quote by a famous scientist Albert Einstein, he once said, "One thing I have learned in lifelong, that all our science measured against reality is primitive and childlike, and it is the most precious things we have." If you just look at these statement made by him, he was a great scientist of a time, and if you can see, he says that it is a childlike thing, and it is it most precious thing what we have. Because child are precious things. So something like that he said about the physics. He was the greatest scientist of physics also, and in this particular subject we are going to see the most things happening in the physics. So things should be clear. So what is the electromagnetics? First of all, electromagnetics may be regarded as a study of interaction between electric charges at rest and in motion. As and when we will progress in this particular course, we will see what is the electrostatic. So electrostatic, static means at rest, so electric charges at rest, electrostatics. Electric charges at uniform continuous motion, magnetostatic. We will see that when the time comes. Right now it entails the analysis, synthesis, physical interpretation, and applications of electric and magnetic fields. Electromagnetic is a branch of physics or electrical engineering in which electric and magnetic phenomena are studied. This is very important to understand, because we are when we are talking about wireless propagation, no way wireless propagation is possible unless we understand the electromagnetics. So they run hand in hand. We'll see those things when we'll see the wave propagation in the last minute. At that time we'll see those things also. So what are the applications of electromagnetics? EM principle finds applications in various allied disciplines such as microwaves, antennas, machines, satellite communication, bioelectromagnetics, plasmas, nuclear, and the list is never ending. EM fields are used in induction heaters for melting, forging, annealing, surface hardening, and soldering operation. Even nowadays you might have the induction cookers at your home, where those induction cookers are used to cook a food. In that case also, the concept of electromagnetics, that eddy current losses are used. If the time permits, I will explain that thing also to you, but right now it is beyond the scope of this syllabus. Sources of electromagnetics. Now what are the sources of electromagnetics? EM devices are the sources of electromagnetics. Those includes transformers, relays, radios, TV, telephone, motors, transmission line, waveguide, antennas, fibers, radars, and laser. And all these things, if you can see, are sources of electromagnetics, and the design of these devices requires thorough knowledge of laws and principles of electromagnetics. So this subject might be difficult as it is analytical subject, but it is interesting too, because you are going to see day-to-day applications on electromagnetics. Right now the laptop where you are observing or where you are listening to these lectures, or the mobile on which you are listening to these lectures, is also possible because of this electromagnetic wireless wave propagation. So we'll see those things in detail also. Before starting with the analytics, so let's once again go through this analytic, because without mathematics we cannot proceed in physics, and without physics we cannot proceed in the electromagnetics. So let's understand first of all certain vector operations which we are going to use. Now you might be knowing a del operator. It is not delta, it is inverted delta. That is del operator is a vector differential operator. In addition, I want to say you that del is neither scalar nor vector. It is just the operator. It is just like multiplication, addition, division operator. Del is a operator. Del is a differential operator. You might have studied a partial differentiation in the mathematics. So if you can see, if I want to represent del in Cartesian form, because we are going to see vectors and Cartesian coordinate system or other coordinate system going hand in hand for this particular subject. So del in case of Cartesian coordinate system is dou by dou x. Usually you call this partial differentiation as dabba by dabba x, but I used to call it as dou by dou x. So I hope you will understand henceforth. So it is dou by dou x ax bar. See, ax bar, as I told you, it is a unit vector. Dou by dou y ay bar plus dou by dou z az bar. So this is a del operator. It is neither scalar nor vector. The operator is useful in defining what? These four things we are going to use throughout the discussion. First thing is a gradient of a scalar. What is gradient of a scalar? Its definition and its properties that we will see in detail. Don't bother about this right now. So del operator is useful in defining what? The gradient of a scalar. Gradient of scalar. We call this as del v or grad v. We also call this as grad v. That is gradient. Grad v. So it is gradient of a scalar. Then divergence of a vector. You might have solved a certain numericals also in the mathematics while you have solved del dot a bar. That is dot product. See, without vector we cannot proceed, as I said. Dot product and vector analysis a bar. So del dot a bar. Mathematics, we will solve it by using certain formulas. A curl of a vector a. Curl. So del cross a bar. What is the physical significance of divergence and curl that we will discuss in the forthcoming slides. But right now just try to understand gradient of a scalar, divergence of a vector, then we'll see the curl of a vector del cross a bar, and Laplacian of a scalar denoted as del square v. Del square v, it is applicable. I will draw it here. It is del square. So it is del square. I just try to write down. Sometimes it becomes difficult for me. So del square v. It is del raised to 2. So these four operations and formulas related to these four operations we are going to see in detail. But what is gradient, that we will discuss. So first of all, what these operations going to result in, we will see in this video. In the next video we will see this gradient of scalar operation. See, gradient of a scalar, when we calculate del v, it will result in a vector. This first thing is going to result in vector. It is going to give me a vector entity. When I take a divergence, divergence means a dot product with a vector. This is also a vector, ax bar, ay bar, az bar. Yes, it is del dot a bar. So vector dot vector, it is going to give me a scalar entity. It is going to give me a scalar entity. Curl of a vector, cross product. We all know cross product is going to result in vector entity, and this del square v operation, once again it is going to result in a vector entity. So divergence, curl, gradient and Laplacian operators. You try to understand grad v, del dot a bar divergence, del cross a bar curl, and del square v is a Laplacian operator. In the next coming lecture we will talk about gradient of a scalar, what is the physical significance of it in detail, and we will try to find some of the formulas for different coordinate system, and we will solve certain numericals also. Those numericals will not be asked in the examination as such, till that they are not asked, but there might be a chances of asking these simple numericals also, where the examiner wants to check the knowledge, how you represent a formula, how you remember a formula, and how you can going to solve this numerical. So till then we'll stop here in this particular lecture. Till then you just keep studying and happy learning. Stay home and stay safe. That's the important thing.